If you have spent any time in North Idaho, you have probably noticed that we have a lot of people embracing a homesteader lifestyle. These are people who they want to live off the grid. They want to grow their own food, raise poultry or livestock, etc. This lifestyle is undoubtedly not for everyone, but I have had enough clients express interest in homesteading that I thought it was time for a video on the topic. In this video, I'm going to speak as an observer and a realtor about things to think about if you aspire to homestead in North Idaho. My name is Leslie Simpson, and as I mentioned, I am a realtor here in North Idaho, the Coeur d'Alene area specifically. I am not a homesteader by any means. While we do have 3 acres, we have some chickens and a garden. It's just a hobby for me. By the way, I made a great video going over gardening in North Idaho that I'm going to link right here, so you can check that out. When I say homesteader, I am thinking of someone who can really live off of what they raise and produce on their own farm. I Googled it, and a homesteader is someone who lives a self-sufficient lifestyle, typically on a piece of rural land, and tries to produce most, if not all, of what they need to survive, such as food, water, shelter, and sometimes energy. This may also include practicing traditional skills like food preservation, gardening, and animal husbandry. A huge benefit of homesteading is that it can lead to greater financial independence by reducing reliance on the food chain and external resources. North Idaho is very homesteader friendly. We have beautiful scenery, abundant natural resources, and a strong community of homesteaders. Our forests and mountains provide resources for homesteading activities like gathering firewood, hunting, and foraging. Also, our landscape and climate allows for a range of gardening and livestock options with microclimates for various crops and animals. It's a lot of work to learn how to do all of this, and a great thing about this area is that we have a large homestead community already in place. There are established homesteading communities and plenty of Facebook groups in the area where like-minded individuals can connect, share knowledge, and support each other. There is even a homesteading conference called Modern Homesteading, and that is held annually here at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds in Coeur d'Alene. At this conference, you can learn new skills and be surrounded by others interested in being self-sufficient. I have put a link to this event in the description down below in case you are interested. They have a very impressive lineup of speakers, and I would love to go. I'm going to look at tickets next. So now let's talk about the nuts and bolts. Finding the property to create your homestead. How much property you need depends on your goals, but a small homestead of 2 to 5 acres can support a family with a garden, chickens, and possibly small livestock. A larger homestead would require 10 to 20 acres. To get this kind of land, you're not going to be looking anywhere in town. Most likely, you will be searching for land in Rathdrum, Hayden, or Athol, or maybe even on the prairie in Post Falls. You could also go south of the Spokane River in Coeur d'Alene, or even further south to Worley. I ran a quick search, and to get raw land over 2 acres, you are looking in the range of $350,000 or more just for the land. The further north you go, the less you spend, and there are some lots more in that $200,000 range in Athol and north of Athol. I have a link in the description to some, but not all of the search results, so take a peek if you're curious. If you're watching this video months or even years after it was published, just reach out to me directly and I can send you fresh listings. What about homestead property that are not raw land but already have homes on them? If your budget is under $500,000 to get a house on more than 2 acres, most, but not all, options are manufactured homes. From the price range of $500,000 to $750,000, more of the options are stick-built homes with a few manufactured homes sprinkled in there. As you are looking at listings, you want to keep in mind that you will probably want a mostly flat lot. So take into consideration also whether power has already been run to the lot or if that's an expense you're going to have to take on. Another thing to think about is whether the seller has done a perk test to measure how quickly water absorbs into the ground. Being perk approved is required by the county before putting a septic system in. Last but not least, is there a well? If I were deciding to homestead, I would for sure want a well for water instead of connecting to city water. I don't think you'll have much of a say in this anyways, as most of these large parcel lots are out of town and away from the public water supply. Well, I've given you enough information to get you started, and I am happy to be a resource or answer any property search related questions that you might have. I will also include some links to North Idaho Homestead Facebook group so you can be a fly on the wall and learn from our local experts. Last but not least, there is a really thorough website and blog called homesteadingfamily.com where you can learn a ton about homesteading, whether you live in North Idaho or not, and you can even take classes. But what's kind of cool about it is that it is a North Idaho family. That's all. Enjoy.